I almost died on the I-405 because my mechanic wanted an extra $4,000. My brakes failed doing 70 miles an hour in rush hour traffic. I slammed the pedal to the floor and nothing happened. Just kept going, kept accelerating, cars everywhere. I missed a semi-truck by maybe 3 feet. Managed to engine brake and pull onto the shoulder, shaking so hard I couldn't hold my phone to call 911. When the tow truck driver looked under my car, he said 6 words that changed everything. "Someone cut your brake lines, ma'am. Not Warren." Not failed. Cut deliberately, and I knew exactly who did it. Okay, let me back up. My name's Maya. I'm 26 years old. I'm a graphic designer at a marketing agency, which means I spend 40 hours a week making logos for startups that'll be bankrupt in 6 months, pretending I care about their vision. I make $54,000 a year. I live in Los Angeles. I drive a 2012 Honda Civic with 163,000 miles on it. It's not pretty, but it's paid off and it runs. Or it did. 3 weeks before my brakes failed, my check engine light came on. That horrible glowing orange icon that fills you with dread. I'm not a car person. I don't know what happens under the hood. I just know you put gas in and hopefully it goes. I took it to the nearest mechanic, a place called Frank's Auto Repair. It was 2 blocks from my apartment. Had decent Google reviews. 4.2 stars. Seemed fine. I drove in on a Monday morning. A guy came out to meet me. Mid-50s. Grease-stained shirt. Name tag said Frank. "What can I do for you?" "Check engine lights on." "I don't know why." "Let me run a diagnostic." Shouldn't take long. I waited in the lobby. Uncomfortable chairs. Coffee that tasted like it was brewed during the Nixon administration. Magazines from 2019. I scrolled my phone for 20 minutes. Frank came back holding a printout. So you've got a few issues. How bad? Not terrible, but not great. Your oxygen sensor's failing. That's what triggered the light. But while I was looking, I noticed your brake pads are pretty worn, and your transmission fluid's dirty, and you've got an oil leak. My stomach dropped. I knew what this meant. Money I didn't have. How much to fix all of it? Frank looked at his clipboard. Did some math. Oxygen sensor's 400. Brake pads are 600. Transmission flush is 300. Oil leak depends where it's coming from, but probably another 800 to 1,000. Call it 4,500 total. $4,500. I had maybe 2,000 in my checking account. It was due in a week. Do I need to fix all of it right now? The oxygen sensor you can wait on just hurts your gas mileage. But the brakes? You don't want to mess around with brakes. And the oil leak, it's bad enough you could seize your engine. The transmission fluid, you've got some time. So the brakes and the oil leak, minimum. Yeah, $1,400. Still more than I had, but maybe manageable with a credit card. Can you just do the brakes for now? I need to figure out the rest, Frank frowned. I really don't recommend that. The oil leak's serious. I understand, but I can't afford both right now. Tell you what, I can do the brakes and take a closer look at the oil leak, give you a better estimate. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I'll need the car for the day. Can you come back around 5? I Ubered to work, spent the whole day anxious, checking my bank account, running numbers, trying to figure out how to pay for car repairs and rent and groceries. At 4:30, Frank called. "Hey, Maya." So good news and bad news. My chest tightened. Okay. Good news is I was wrong about the oil leak. It's not as bad as I thought. It's just a valve cover gasket. 300 to fix. And the bad news. While I had the car up, I noticed your brake lines are corroded. Really corroded. You're in California, so you don't get the salt and snow, but you're close to the ocean. The salt air's eating through them. They could fail anytime. They could fail anytime. What does that mean? Means your brakes could just stop working. You'd have no way to stop the car. It's dangerous. You need them replaced. How much? Brake lines aren't cheap. Parts and labor probably 2,000. 2,000. On top of the 600 for brake pads I'd already agreed to. So 2,600 total? For the brakes and the valve cover gasket, yeah. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to not own a car. I can't afford that right now. Maya, I'm telling you, as someone who's been doing this 30 years, you can't drive on those brake lines. If they fail, you could die. You could kill someone else. The fear in his voice sounded real, genuine, like he actually cared. Can I pay in installments? I don't do payment plans, but I can give you a discount. Call it 4,000 even for everything. Brake pads, brake lines, and the gasket. That's 500 off. $4,000. My credit card limit was 3,000. I need to think about it. I get it. But I can't let you drive this car off my lot knowing your brake lines could fail. It's a liability issue. If something happens and I let you leave, I could get sued.
So what am I supposed to do? Get it fixed? I can have it done by tomorrow afternoon. I felt trapped, cornered like I had no choice. Fine. Do it. Smart decision. I'll call you when it's ready. I took another Uber home. Put the repairs on my credit card. $4,000. Plus the Uber rides. I'd be paying this off for months. The next day Frank called. All set. Car's running great. Brakes are solid. You're good to go. I picked it up, drove it home. It felt fine. Normal. Maybe the brakes were a little more responsive, but I couldn't really tell. A week later, I was complaining to my coworker Derek about the whole thing. $4,000. Brake lines I couldn't even see. Just trusting some mechanic I didn't know. Did you get a second opinion? Derek asked. After I already paid for it. What's the point? You should always get a second opinion on expensive repairs. Mechanics lie all the time. You think he lied? I think 4,000 sounds high for brake pads and lines. My girlfriend's a mechanic. I can ask her. Derek texted his girlfriend Sophie. Sent her the itemized receipt Frank gave me. She responded in 10 minutes. Derek showed me his phone, Sophie's text. This is a scam. Brake pads are maybe $300 parts and labor. Brake lines for a 2012 Civic are maybe $400. Valve cover gasket is $150. He charged her triple. Also, brake lines don't corrode like that in L.A. In L.A., no road salt. This guy's a con artist. My face went hot. He scammed me? Sounds like it. Sophie says you should get an inspection, see if he actually replaced anything. I drove to Sophie's shop that weekend. She put my car in the lift, looked underneath, came back shaking her head. He replaced the brake pads. I can see those are new. But the brake lines? Those are original. Factory parts. They're not corroded. They're fine. He didn't replace them. He charged me $2,000 for brake lines. He didn't install them. Also, the valve cover gasket? Still leaking. He didn't fix that either. I felt sick. So what did I pay for? Brake pads. That's it. Everything else is a lie. $3,400 for nothing. For parts he didn't install. For repairs he didn't do. Just gone. What do I do? Confront him. Get your money back. If he refuses, report him. I drove back to Frank's auto repair, walked in. Frank was at the counter. Maya, everything running okay? No, I got a second opinion. You didn't replace my brake. You didn't fix the valve cover gasket. You charged me for work you didn't do. His face changed. The friendly act dropped. Who told you that? Another mechanic, a real one. I'm lying to get your business, she showed me. The brake lines are original factory parts. The gasket's still leaking. That's impossible. I installed those parts myself. Show me the old parts. What? The parts you replaced? The corroded brake lines? The old gasket. Show them to me. We dispose of old parts. That's standard. Convenient. Look, if you're unhappy, I can take another look. I want a refund. You charged me for work you didn't do. That's fraud. I did the work. If some other mechanic's telling you different, they're trying to scam you. Give me my money back or I'm reporting you. Report me to who? Good luck proving anything. I left, hands shaking. He was right. It was my word against his. I had a receipt, but no proof he didn't do the work. No old parts, no photos, nothing. But I reported him anyway to the Bureau of Automotive Repair. California's state regulatory agency filed a complaint, detailed everything, sent the receipt. Sent Sophie's inspection report. They said they'd investigate. Could take months. I tried to dispute the charge with my credit card company. They said I'd have to prove the services weren't rendered. I sent them Sophie's report. They said it wasn't enough. They needed proof from the original mechanic admitting fault, which I obviously didn't have. I was out $4,000 with no way to get it back. 2 weeks later, I was driving to work. 405 North. Morning rush hour. Bumper to bumper traffic, moving at 70 miles an hour, which is insane, but that's Los Angeles. I was in the middle lane, semi-truck to my right, sedan in front of me. Traffic started slowing, brake lights everywhere. I hit my brakes. Nothing happened. Pedal went straight to the floor. No resistance, no slowing. I was still going 70. I pumped the brakes, nothing. I slammed them. Nothing, the car just kept going. Sedan in front of me was getting closer. I was about to rear end them at 70 miles an hour. I jerked the wheel, swerved into the right lane. Missed the semi by inches, horns blaring, people screaming. I threw the car into lower gear, engine screaming, started to slow down. Used the emergency brake, barely worked but enough. Managed to get to the shoulder. I sat there, heart pounding, shaking, cars flying past. I could have died. I could have killed someone. I called 911.
Told them what happened. They sent a highway patrol officer and a tow truck. The tow truck driver got there first. Older guy looked under my car with a flashlight. "Ma'am, someone cut your brake lines." "What? Your brake lines?" "Clean cuts. This wasn't an accident." The highway patrol officer confirmed it, took photos, filed a report, asked if I had any enemies, anyone who'd want to hurt me. I told him about Frank, about the scam, about confronting him 2 weeks ago. "Do you think your mechanic cut your brake lines?" "He's the only person who's touched my car." "When was your car at his shop?" 3 weeks ago." The officer frowned. "Brake lines don't feel immediately when they're cut. Depends how deep the cut is. If it's a partial cut, it could take days or weeks for the pressure to give out." "So he cut them 3 weeks ago and they finally failed today." "Possibly. Or someone else cut them. You park on the street?" "Yeah. Could be random vandalism. Or it could be retaliation for reporting him." The officer took all my information, said he'd follow up. Had my car towed to Sophie's shop. Sophie confirmed it. "These are clean cuts done with a tool. Probably a razor or a blade. Someone knew what they were doing." "Frank." "Can't say for sure, but yeah, probably." I filed a police report. Attempted murder. Or at least reckless endangerment. The detective assigned to my case was skeptical. "We'll investigate, but without proof, it's hard to charge anyone. Could be anyone who had access to your car." It was Frank. I confronted him about scamming me, and 2 weeks later, my brake lines are cut. Did anyone see him do it? No. Any cameras at your apartment? No. Then it's circumstantial. I wanted to scream. He tried to kill me and nobody cared. The Bureau of Automotive Repair Investigation moved faster after I reported the cut brake lines. They inspected Frank's shop, found violations, improper disposal of hazardous materials, unlicensed mechanics working, fraudulent billing practices. They interviewed other customers, found 12 other complaints, people charged for work that wasn't done, parts that weren't replaced, the same scam over and over. Frank's auto repair got shut down. License revoked. Frank was charged with multiple counts of fraud, grand theft, consumer protection violations, but not attempted murder. They couldn't prove he cut the brake lines. I testified at his fraud trial, told my story, showed the receipts. Sophie testified as an expert witness. Explained what work was done versus what was billed. The jury found him guilty. 15 counts of fraud. He got 3 years in state prison, restitution ordered for all victims. I got back $2,800. The full 4,000, but something. But the brake lines? That case went nowhere. No witnesses, no proof. The detective said they'd keep it open, but essentially closed it. Frank denied everything. Said he didn't cut my brake lines. Said I was lying to get him in more trouble. Said maybe I cut them in more trouble. Said maybe I cut them myself for sympathy. The audacity, he's in prison now. Service him right for the fraud, but he should be in there for attempted murder, because that's what it was. He cut my brake lines knowing I'd drive that car on the highway, knowing they'd fail eventually, knowing I could die, all because I reported him for scamming me. I don't drive that car anymore. I sold it. Couldn't feel safe in it. Bought a different used car. Get it serviced at Sophie's shop exclusively. Nobody else touches it. I have nightmares sometimes. About the highway. About the brakes failing. About the semi-truck. About how close I came. 3 feet. That's how close I was to dying. 3 feet between me and a semi at 70 miles an hour. Because a mechanic wanted $4,000 he didn't earn. This is a Pulse Stories original. If you've ever been scammed by a mechanic, drop a comment. If you've ever had someone retaliate against you for standing up for yourself, you know exactly how this feels. And if you're getting major car repairs quoted, always get a second opinion. Always. Subscribe for more stories of people who survived retaliation and got justice anyway. Because sometimes standing up to a scammer means they try to kill you. And sometimes you survive. And sometimes they go to prison for fraud, even if you can't prove the attempted murder. Frank got 3 years. He'll be on 18 months with good behavior. I got $2,800 back and a lifetime of checking my brake lines before I drive anywhere. He thinks he won. He thinks he got away with the real crime, but he didn't. I am alive, I testified. He's in prison. His business is gone. His reputation is destroyed. Every victim got restitution. 12 people got their money back because I reported him. That's not nothing. Saw his mugshot online. He looked old, tired, beaten down good. Oh, you don't get to scam people and cut their brake lines and walk away. Sophie became a friend. A real friend. She services my car for cost, refuses to profit off me. You've been through enough, she says. Derek still works with me, still feels guilty for not telling me to get a second opinion before I paid Frank. I tell him it's not his fault. It's Frank's fault. All of it. My new car runs fine. I check the brake lines every week, obsessively. I know it's paranoid, but I can't help it. Trust is hard after someone tries to kill you. The detective called me 6 months after the trial. We're officially closing the brake line case. No new evidence, can't prosecute. So he gets away with it. He's in prison for fraud. That's something. It's not enough. I know. I'm sorry. I think about that a lot. About how close he came to getting away with everything. If I hadn't survived, if I'd crashed, if I'd died, he would have kept scamming people, kept cutting brake lines when they complained, kept getting away with it. He'll probably move, start over somewhere else, maybe change his name, maybe open another shop, but he'll have a record, a fraud conviction, a revoked license. That follows you. I hope it ruins him. I hope every time he applies for a job, they Google his name and find the articles. Trial. The victims. I hope he never scams anyone again. But I'm not naive. People like Frank don't change. They just get sneakier. So I'm telling my story, warning people. Don't trust mechanics just because they're nearby. Don't pay for repairs without a second opinion. Don't assume someone won't hurt you just because you caught them stealing. Frank taught me that. The hard way. I almost died learning it, but I learned it. And I'm still here, still driving, still fighting. He's in a cell. I'm free.